Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you for joining us today as we set sail on a journey back to 1997 to relive the timeless tale of love and loss aboard the majestic RMS Titanic. James Cameron's cinematic masterpiece not only brought to life the harrowing disaster of the unsinkable ship but also wove a poignant love story that transcends time. As we delve into this iconic film, prepare to be captivated once again by the breathtaking visuals, compelling performances, and the enduring themes of hope, sacrifice, and the human spirit. So, without further ado, let's embark on this voyage and recapture the magic of Titanic. Treasure hunter Lovett, Bill Paxton, and his crew investigate the wreck of the RMS Titanic in 1996 while on board the research ship Love in an attempt to find the heart of the ocean, a priceless diamond necklace. 3821 meters below the ocean's surface is where the wreck is located. Though they think the necklace is in Khalid and Cal Hockley's, Billy Zane, safe. All they find is a sketch of a naked woman wearing the diamond, dated April 14, 1912, the night the Titanic struck the iceberg. Since the expedition is not publicly funded, Brock is under pressure to give his investors the diamond. An elderly woman named Rose Dawson Calvert, Gloria Stewart, calls Lovett after seeing the drawing on TV and claims to be the woman shown in it.
The woman in the picture is me.
She visits him and his team on a salvage ship with her granddaughter Lizzie Calvert, Susie Emmys. Rose, who is 101 years old, persuades Brock with all the information about her that she was on board the ship the night before the accident. The last individual to wear the heart of the ocean was her. Brock is aware that shortly before the Titanic sailed from England, Cal's father Nathan had settled an insurance claim for the loss of the diamond that Cal had purchased for his fiancé. Rose watches as Brock quickly simulates the collision of an iceberg with the Titanic. It struck the berg on its starboard side, causing holes to pierce a large portion of the hull. The water eventually rose over the bulkheads, which stopped short of the E-deck, and spilled into the other watertight compartments astern after entering a number of watertight compartments. As the stern rises out of the water, the ship tilts and eventually splits into two sections down the center. Subsequently, the stern section goes under after the front section. 2 hours and 40 minutes after the ship collides with the iceberg, at 2:20 a.m., the ship sinks. Rose DeWitt Bukater, a passenger thought to have perished in the sinking of the Titanic, reveals her identity when asked if she knows the whereabouts of the necklace. She then starts her tale with these words: Rose, Kate Winslet, then 17, travels in first class on the Titanic in Southampton in 1912, accompanied by her mother Ruth DeWitt Bukater, Francis Fisher, and fiancé Cal. The Titanic is on her maiden voyage and is regarded as unsinkable. Ruth emphasizes how crucial Rose's engagement is because a marriage would end the DeWitt Bukaters' covert financial issues. In the meantime, Jack and his Italian friend Fabrizio, Danny Nucci, win third-class tickets for the Titanic trip in a poker game against Irish immigrants, allowing them to board the ship as soon as possible. Cherbourg is where Kathy Bates' character Margaret Molly Brown boarded the ship. The other first-class passengers looked down on Molly because she was new money. The Titanic heads west at 21 knots the following day. The Titanic was designed by Thomas Andrews, Victor Garber, and is commanded by Edward John Smith, Bernard Hill, First Officer William Murdoch, Ewan Stewart, Second Officer Charles Lightoller, Jonathan Phillips, Third Officer Herbert Pittman, Kevin Delanoy, and Chief Officer Henry Wilde, Mark Lindsay Chapman, make up Edward's staff. The MD of the White Star Line, the company that owns the Titanic, is J. Bruce Ismay, Jonathan Hyde. Rose, heartbroken over her engagement, muses over killing herself by plunging to the ship's stern. Rose chooses whether or not to jump and climbs over the stern rails. When she slips and hangs off the rails, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, Jack Dawson, a drifter and artist, stops her and pulls her back on deck.
Now pull yourself up. Listen to me. I've got you. I won't let go.
When Rose and Jack are found together on the stern, Rose tells Cal that she was curiously peering over the edge of the ship when Jack saved her from falling. Cal extends an appreciation dinner invitation to Jack for the following evening at Rose's insistence.
Join us for dinner tomorrow evening. Perhaps you could...
Rose receives a necklace containing the heart of the ocean diamond from Cal that evening.
Open your heart to me, Rose.
Despite reports of icebergs in their path, Esme commands Edwards to light the Titanic's final 4 boilers and accelerate the ship. Esme planned to arrive early in New York to demonstrate the ship's speed. Rose observes that there are not nearly enough lifeboats on board to accommodate all of the passengers. Andrews claims he was overruled because an additional row of lifeboats would make the ship appear cluttered. Despite Cal and Ruth's misgivings about the young, third-class man, Jack and Rose strike up a tentative friendship, and Rose finds out that Jack is a professional painter who specializes in painting nude subjects.
Well, well, well.
That evening, Rose sneaks over to Jack's party in the ship's third-class quarter after the first-class dinner. They start doing some Irish tap dancing, and Jack gives Rose a great time, making her laugh out loud for the first time in her life. Cal and Ruth forbid her from seeing Jack.
Our situation is precarious. You know them.
And Rose tries to reject Jack's persistent advances.
Leave me alone.
Cal even strikes Rose when she tries to defend herself. But she soon finds that she is more in love with him than with Cal, and they end up meeting at the ship's bow in the last hours of daylight on the Titanic.
I'm flying!
Next, they head to Rose's stateroom, where she requests that Jack draw her in her undies while she wears the heart of the ocean, which is Cal's engagement gift to her.
Drawings. Nice.
Miss Rose?
The two then sneak past Spicer Lovejoy, David Warner, Cal's bodyguard, and have an intimate kiss inside a car in the ship's cargo hold. They then proceed to the forward well deck of the ship, where they see the ship collide with an iceberg. The ship took a while to change direction in order to avoid colliding with the iceberg because it was discovered so late due to the calm seas. Consequently, the ship grazes the berg on its starboard side and punches holes across the hull, rather than striking it head-on, which would have been better for survival. All of the watertight doors that lead up to Deck E are shut by the first officer. Jack and Rose hear the officers and designer discussing the seriousness of the ship. Rose advises Jack that they ought to alert Cal and her mother. According to Andrews, the ship will sink because it has 5 punctures, one more than the number of compartments the ship was intended to have in order to stay afloat. Andrews says the ship has a maximum of 2 hours. There are 2,200 people on board the ship. At their current coordinates, the captain uses their radio to issue a distress call. It's 4 hours away from the closest ship. In his safe, Cal finds the necklace, Jack's drawing, and a mocking note from Rose. Cal reports that the diamond was taken. Cal orders his bodyguard to put the necklace in Jack's coat pocket out of range. Jack is handcuffed to a pipe after being accused of stealing it and being taken to the master at arms office. The necklace is tucked into Cal's coat. Rose releases Jack and flees from Cal and her mother, who has climbed onto a lifeboat.
You unimaginable bastard.
Please stop!
Then, in an attempt to draw in any other ships in the area, the ship begins to shoot flares. The third-class passengers are locked below and are not permitted to access the lifeboat decks.
Stay calm. Go up to the boat. boats yet?
Well, we weren't, and I saw one boat with only 12. 12!
In the meantime, lifeboats carrying only first-class passengers are launched, partially empty. Upon arriving at the deck, Jack and Cal convince Rose to board a different lifeboat, with Cal asserting that he has made arrangements for both Jack and himself to exit safely. Cal informs Jack that the arrangement is solely for him after she boards. Rose knows she can't leave Jack as her boat descends, so she hops back on the Titanic to be with him again.
Rose! Why'd you do that, huh? You're so stupid.
I couldn't go. I couldn't go, Jack.
Cal becomes enraged and grabs a pistol, chasing them into the first-class dining saloon that is flooded.
Go!
Cal finds out to his dismay that he gave Rose his coat with the diamond after running out of ammunition. Now that things are bad, he goes back to the boat deck and, posing as a lost child, boards the lifeboat. It is acknowledged that the Titanic's engineers managed to keep the lights on until the very end. A septet orchestra played chamber music in the first-class section of the ship on board the Titanic. The crew is well known for playing music to try to distract the passengers from the sinking of the ship for as long as possible. Jack goes back to the upper deck with Rose. The stern is rising out of the water, and passengers are falling to their deaths.
Come on, Miss Pretty!
All lifeboats having departed. The ship splits in two, with the stern rising 90 degrees into the sky. Jack and Rose ride the stern into the ocean as it sinks.
We're gonna make it, Rose! Trust me!
Rose is assisted by Jack onto a wall panel that can only hold the weight of one person. Reassuring her that she will pass away an old woman, snug in her bed, he holds the edge of the panel.
Promise me now, Rose.
Fifth Officer Harold Lowe has taken control of a lifeboat and is using it to look for survivors.
Jack!
Rose is saved by him, but he can't get to Jack in time to prevent his hypothermia death.
Never let go. I promise.
Rose presents herself as Rose Dawson when she and the other survivors are transported to New York aboard the RMS Carpathia.
Rose Dawson.
Cal looks for her while she hides on Carpathia's deck. Later on, she finds out that he killed himself after losing all of his money in the 1929 Wall Street crash. After finishing her tale, Rose heads to Lovett's ship's stern by herself. There, she removes the ocean's heart, which she has carried with her the entire time, and casts it into the water. The pictures on her dresser, even though she appears to be sleeping in bed, are a visual record of the free life that Jack encouraged her to lead. The young Rose is then seen getting back together with Jack at the RMS Titanic's grand staircase, to the cheers and congratulations of the people who lost their lives in the ship.